I don't know. We'll see if she shows
Sinister.
tomorrow.
Is that your alter ego? Sinister TJ?
No, my alter ego is MJ Tetos. You don't want to meet him.
All right. Let's get out of here.
And I never will forget this. We went down there, and I'd been around TV stations, and of course I was already in radio at that point by 2 or 3 years. But we went and watched them do the 6 o'clock news live, and the anchor person was a guy named Nick Miller, and I don't think he lasted in the market very long. Very talented guy. He just went on somewhere else. And we're standing there, watching them do, the news and sports and weather and everything. And he says, that's our broadcast. We'll see you tonight at 11. CBS News is next. Good night, everyone. And then, you hear the director in the camera, all right, we're clear. And he gets up and he walks away from the desk, and he's got a sport coat on and a jacket on, but he's wearing shorts as he walked away from the desk. And I just remember thinking then, because I was always been a news geek. I was always watching TV news when I was like 6 or something. I was like, it's all been a lie.
A few shows ago, someone said, where's Hoppy's music?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Well,
you don't have to do that. It's okay.
Oh no, I'm doing it because it's not the same song.
Oh really? You have a new song?
Someone submitted this song.
Oh, I hadn't heard.
We got a Hoppy song?
Can you hear it without headphones?
I can.
Okay.
That's all right. Just go ahead and play it. I'm sure it's wonderful.
This is the opening to Hoppy's Obvious Observations. He's hearing it. Brad's hearing it for the first time. Let's do this.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
He's hearing it, and Brad's hearing it for the first time. How is your hearing?
I'm sorry, what?
Here we go.
He's got thoughts that sound brand new, but they're things we already knew. He's got his lip balm ready, heaven knows. Let's make it quick before his ladder blows. It's Hoppy's Obvious Observations.
Hoppy, take it away with your obvious observations.
Oh, and Ryan, we talked about this without you on the air yesterday, that you supposedly had the inside track to all the good candy for maybe to stash some of the stuff for us.
Only after trick or treat.
Right. Ron finds where it is after.
I don't mess with the candy supply, but in that brief period where there's candy in the building between Trick or Beat and the Christmas parade,
right,
I try to keep tabs on where it is.
Well, so have you located this?
No.
Give him time. That's what I'm saying. Give him time.
Okay.
Right. It's like a treasure hunt every year.
I most of the time it's in the room off to the side of the front desk, but sometimes it's been in like supply closets up in the second recording studio near the MetroNews.
So sometimes like in the back of the toilet, in the reservoir. He's found them everywhere.
So when you find this candy, you'll remember your old pal Dave.
No.
And your immediate supervisor, Coop, correct?
Coop, yes. Yeah.
Huntington, you know who they play? Sevier County, Tennessee.
That's exactly
They've already
right,
played one of the best teams in Tennessee in the opener. It's their only loss so far. This is also one of the best teams in the state of Tennessee. So I don't know what they're going for, a CFP playoff spot or what they're trying to do down there in Huntington, but they're challenging the heck out of themselves.
Does it ever feel like 24 years? Do you ever sit back and think it feels like, sometimes I can't believe it's been 24 years, and I just think it feels like it's been a lot less.
And then there's other times I think, it's only been 24 years?
Yeah, same thing.
I would love to go back, and I don't think I have I know I don't have any way to doing it.
No, I don't want to go back and hear the first show.
I would.
I would too.
I would love to go back and hear show number 1 of year number 1. We had different producers. We weren't on video.
Right.
A lot of things have changed over 24 years. But yeah, sometimes I think I'd like to go back and say, you guys never got any better at all.
So
as he approaches the tee and blasts one, a low line drive. It's going to be Tyler on the return now. And Tyler up the middle, trying to break a tackle, gets outside, look out, another big play, Tyler down the sideline, he will score, touchdown Frankfurt, they answer right back.
I drove home one night, it was around 11:30 on a Sunday night, and I said, you know what, I've been doing this, and I'm tired of doing it. And I felt the program was slipping. I just felt, hey, you know what, it's time for a younger guy. People said, did I miss football? I was busy and I didn't miss it. No, I missed Saturday, I'd go to the game and, I'd just sit up there and kind of wish I was going to do this or that. But I didn't miss all day Sunday. I didn't miss all day Monday and all that preparation.
Rag 57! Rag 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw! Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
And we welcome you to downtown Morgantown, MetroNews Radio and Television Network Studios. It is the 10th day of May, 2026. And the Sportsline is on the air, presented by CityNet. Travis Jones along with Coach Greg Hunter with you till 8 o'clock tonight as we wrap up another weekend of sports conversation across the Mountain State. Mountaineer baseball on the menu tonight. Mountaineer football recruiting continues. West Virginia getting a quarterback in the fold this weekend. We'll talk about that, touch on Mountaineer basketball as well, as the roster is, could be complete. Might be maybe one more spot available. We'll discuss that coming up a little bit later on in the show. Since we were last together, the NCAA tournament field has also grown. We'll talk about what that could potentially mean for West Virginia and the Big 12 Conference. And your text and phone calls coming up. Gavin Kelly stopped by Three Guys. Second hour, we'll listen into some of that talk as Gavin avoided the Three Guys jinx this weekend. Had a terrific outing out in Lawrence as West Virginia pulled off probably one of the most impressive three-game sweeps since this team has been in the Big 12 Conference.
Yeah, boy, really good for West Virginia. I mean, I was making a case last week as West Virginia came off a sweep at home against Kansas State that was about the most complete series the Mountaineers had played. Kansas State's got some injury issues. They're a little bit down at this point in time. And, West Virginia took it full advantage. But then they go into Lawrence, team that had a 4-game lead in the Big 12 conference race and is top 10 in the country at number 7. And the Mountaineers just took the Jayhawks to task. I mean, shut them down completely. Pitching performances in all 3 days was outstanding. Certainly the first couple of days got enough offense to get you wins. Gavin Kelly, a big part of that. And then today, last few innings, West Virginia's bats explode and take what had been a close game and turn it into a run rule victory for the Mountaineers, who went from 4 games down in the Big 12 standings to now just 1 game down with 3 games to go for each.
Yeah, big picture. As you mentioned, the weekend games complete. West Virginia, 1 game behind Kansas now for the regular season Big 12 title. But much like last weekend, the Mountaineers are in good shape to, move up, perhaps win the title, but also if they, have a unsuccessful series against TCU this coming weekend, they're also vulnerable because you've got UCF, Arizona State, and Oklahoma State all sitting right there. Well, TCU as well. They're 3 games out. with 3 games to go against the Mountaineers. So lots, needless to say. You got that. You're back into potential hosting conversation again with the RPI taking a huge leap this weekend. So got a massive series with TCU beginning on Thursday night in Morgantown. And Kansas, by the way, heads out to BYU this coming weekend. Their series also starts on Thursday night.
Yeah, you're right. So obviously that's going to be the focus of a lot of things over the next week or so as we pay a lot of attention as the regular season winds down. And then remember, this weekend's games are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because lo and behold, the Big 12 tournament is going to turn around and start right away early the following week and surprise Arizona using new location for the Big 12 as they move to a spring training site in Arizona instead of where they had been. But you said it, West Virginia's RPI has really
and that's great
jumped.
news, by the way, for West Virginia, because
they never had much luck in Dallas. You got a very good point there. So West Virginia now up to 20 in the RPI. I assume this is fairly update.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'd heard 19, so 19, 20, something like that.
Kansas fell to 18. So in terms of regional hostings, of course, top 16. Now, again, RPI isn't the end-all, be-all in making those decisions, but we know that the selection committee is going to pay attention to that data. So if you're paying attention to those things, that's where West Virginia is. Cincinnati, another Big 12 team, just ahead of West Virginia at number 19. So you got 18, 19, and 20 with Kansas, Cincinnati, and West Virginia in the as the top teams in the league in the RPI. So, if you're want an opportunity to be a regional host, you're going to have to continue to play strong. But you've won 7 straight now, so this is as well as certainly they played all year, and they've had a good year in a lot of aspects. But they've been on fire lately. Good one. So also have to mention, we haven't talked a whole lot about pro basketball, but if you're looking at former Mountaineers, a couple of them got their career. Well, one got their career going in Jordan Harrison. Played, 11 minutes, scored 4 points in her debut as a rookie for the Portland Fire.
Yeah, had a great assist late in the game.
So then, just a huge day for Deuce McBride. He hit 7 threes en route to 25 points. Of course, he missed about 2 months because of injury mid-season. Just has been back in the lineup for about, maybe 4 weeks, and just has a massive game for the Knicks as they just throttle Philadelphia. So good game there. J.J. Quinterly also is with the Dallas Wings. She did not play in their game yesterday.
She warmed up but did not play. So I think she's getting closer.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Of course, yesterday was the season opener. They were in Indiana. So I noticed she did go through warm-ups, but wasn't expected to play and did not. So hopefully, a week or so, she'll be back into the rotation there for the Dallas Stars, who are coached now, by the way, by Jose Fernandez. You may recall him, former South Florida head coach.
Didn't realize that.
Yep.
Remembered when he left South Florida. That wasn't that long ago, right? And took the WNBA job.
Yep.
So that's a relatively recent move for him. But so J.J. Quinterly, Jordan Harrison, the 2 former Mountaineers in the WNBA. Several Mountaineers in the NBA, but of course Deuce McBride, the one still alive in the playoffs, and the Knicks are moving on as they just swept the 76ers.
Yeah,
so
4 games to none, 144 to 114, the final score today. Got 7:30 tip time for the Spurs and the T-Wolves. San Antonio leads that series 2 games to 1. So that's the update on the NBA side of things. We do not anticipate getting any post-game from Steve Saban's. Usually road is hit or miss on that. We will keep our eyes peeled. Maybe the Kansas skipper will be available somewhere, so we'll watch for that and see if that's available. We did notice that something that we'll bring to you in the second hour that I think will be kind of interesting is Jared Calhoun did a sit-down 12-minute interview with the Big 12 Conference media folks, digital folks, so we'll tap into that and listen to some of the former Mountaineer and Fairmont State, a coach who's now, of course, the head coach of the Cincinnati Bearcats, after a stop at Youngstown and Utah State. Hear what he has to say coming up as well. So we'll jump into that. Coach Hunter, football recruiting. The Mountaineers get a Rich Rodriguez type of quarterback this weekend out of the high school ranks.
Yeah, Andre Phillip, a 6'1", 190-pound quarterback from Klein Oaks High School, which is Houston. And if you watch his highlights, he's just a burner, right? Has a pretty good throwing motion. Probably is going to need a bit refined as he moves forward, but he's a kid that when you watch what he does with his feet, you go, oh, okay, really good. And because of that, some of the schools that were high on his list were the academies because of his ability to run, and also seemingly a very good academic student if you look at the other schools that were after him. Iowa State was the other Power 4 that had offered him, but West Virginia, as well as the Cyclones, had jumped him early with offers and took visits to each in the not-too-distant past and commits to the Mountaineers. And like I said, is a guy that certainly in the state of Texas made a ton of plays with his feet and is going to be very interesting to watch as we know how important that is in Rich's offense. Now, it's not the only thing. He's going to have to refine his passing. But is a guy that you certainly think can make an impression running the football to start with and then go from there. So that's the 10th commitment right now for the class of 2027. Again, these are guys who are just finishing up their high school junior seasons and will sign with the Mountaineers next December. Most probably will enroll in January if the trend continues the way it has. And no indication that this thing's going to stop or slow down over the course of the next 2 months in terms of verbal commitments, as West Virginia still has a lot to do, and this is the time of year when a lot of those verbals are coming.
Quarterback, first of this class.
Yes.
Typical, you usually take at least one, right, in most classes?
They took 2 this past year, and I would think, though, again, a lot of it is based on what they anticipate in attrition, and sometimes you never quite know on signing date what your attrition is going to be by the portal transfer aspect of things a month later. But I would think 1, but maybe in today's world you start taking 2. The old rule of thumb is you take 1 every year and stockpile them, but with the way guys roll through things, you may have to take 2. And, truthfully, West Virginia actually has 3 in this past class. Now, one of those is an athletic quarterback, John Johnson from New Orleans, who may end up at another position. But you definitely have 2 so in Hughley and Wyatt Brown. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another to go, and especially with the kind that Rich recruits. I mean, they're athletic quarterbacks, so it's not like they're blobs who, if they can't be a pocket quarterback, really can't fit many other places. So we'll look at that as time moves forward, but they've been involved with some other very good quarterbacks, but Andre Phillip looks like he fits really, really well.
All right, very good. 6:18, we'll take a break. Sportsline rolls on, 304-TALK 304. We'll hit the phone lines and texts when we come back as we are underway on this Sunday night. Back in a moment.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing, that he didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Welcome back. Sportsline continues. 622 304 Talk 304 is the text line. 800-765-8255, the phone number. Mike in Charleston. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Jim. How are you doing?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Good, good. Just a few tidbits, if you allow me. First of all, kudos to the baseball team. I was able to watch, thanks to ESPN Plus, last couple of games. They look really, really good. And only a game back for the Hunter, so that's exciting. Switching gears a little bit here, I was curious as to where some of those women players that we had went to, and it looks like Jordan Thomas went up at Georgia.
Yep.
Which is, I did a little more research on it, kind of a rebuilding program. And Carter McRae, Michigan State, not a surprise because still back in the Big Ten. Little surprise with Riley Megaleski. She was the last recruit on Caldwell's 15-woman roster. It was interesting to note because there was apparently a lot more dissension on last year's team than first reported, and so she went out for players that she feels will fit her mold of play, or how she likes to substitute and so forth. Couple of last things here. Jordan Harrison played 11 minutes in her debut game. It was 2 of 6 for 4 points.
Yeah, we just mentioned that.
Right? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that then. Apologies there. And J.J. Quinley, again, what you said was accurate. They're holding her back because of the surgery on her knee. Still going to take a little more time on that one. But interesting, were you guys aware that I was surprised? Her base salary, $277,500 a year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you guys were aware of that or not. But.
Yeah, that's the new collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah,
Thank
certainly.
you, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, it's certainly much better for the women's players than, Travis, you may know. I'm not saying it was a tenth that much in years past, but obviously they've gotten significantly more with this new collective bargaining agreement that just went through this past offseason.
I think the practice squad was around 90 to 100.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, yeah, that's correct. Last thing, fellas, before I get off, and they always look at the way too early top 25 women's basketball rankings. West Virginia. Well, first of all, let me say this: in the Big 12, TCU was at 14, Oklahoma State at 22, West Virginia number 25. So I was pleased with that. What they say real quick was top scorer Gia Cook is staying, but that is far from the biggest news in Morgantown. Skylar Forbes, two-time All-Big East first teamer, and one of the more versatile players in the portable finished her career with the Mountaineers. 1.8 blocks, led the Big East. She also shot 34.5% from three, averaging 15.5 points a game. And lastly, George Mason's top scorer is Ryan Walton, joins Forbes and Cook to form a new core in West Virginia. So, as I said, I think the defensive effort will come. I think I give credit to Mark for finding players that will fit his mold, and I think that he'll get them to play defense as far as I'm concerned. So, again, I still very high on this team. I think you're going to see definitely more scoring, overall athletic ability, and definitely rebounding because they have size. Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say, gentlemen.
Thanks, Mike. Well, it certainly looks like everything he said about what this team is going to be offensively is going to hold true. Just based on past performances by the two he mentioned, the former player from Marquette and one from George Mason, but there are a bunch of others too that are coming in that have proven pass offensively. The one thing you want to see is, can they meld together defensively as well as his past couple of teams, or his past three teams have done, when they've been able to lead on the defense of J.J. Quinterly and Jordan Harrison, who obviously are special players based on what we saw from them here and based on the fact they're both in the WNBA right now. So you got to trust that Mark Kellogg knows what he's looking for defensively and offensively. I don't think there's any doubt, Travis, that this has the makings of a really good offensive club. Yep. And he's also right. A lot more size, and again, who knows in today's world? The way too earlys are so impossible to really know because, West Virginia's got two players back from last year's team, in Gia Cook and Maddie Parrish. And Maddie didn't play a ton. And everybody's like that. So how do you really know how good anybody's going to be? I mean, you just sort of go on past performances on places they've been prior and try to evaluate. But the old days of saying, well, they got four starters back, they should be pretty good. That's out the window.
Yep. All right, text line 304-TALK-304. Texter, great weekend for baseball. Always satisfying to stomp the Jayhawks. Should put WVU in good position to host a regional tournament. Texter says 18 in the RPI after today, and that's ever changing because there's still games going on.
Yeah,
right now. Steve from Philippi, hey guys, any word on Fairmont State's new men's basketball coach? I can share with you that the two finalists are Dwayne Osborne, former head coach of the University of Charleston, who is now an associate head coach at Youngstown State, and also Daniel Mondragon, who was the head coach at Davis and Elkins, is now an assistant coach at Division I Mercer.
Okay. So two guys sort of taking the same path. Been really successful in the Mountain East previously as head coaches, moved to assistant jobs at D1, and now have a chance to get back into the Mountain East. Both are really good coaches in the league.
Yeah. Osborne in particular has a tremendous resume. Conference Coach of the Year 3 times, has won the conference championship a couple of times, and had his team just a tipping away from the Elite Eight his last year at UC. But anyway, Osborne was on campus Friday. Mondragon is going to be there tomorrow. Expect a decision probably not long after that.
All right, two good candidates. I mean, Fairmont will be able to pick a guy that's, proven within the Mountain East. So it's not like you go out and find somebody who's got to familiarize themselves with the MEC.
Yep. No, I mean, certainly, if you look at the last three head coaches, it's a pretty attractive job, proven. I mean, although it, not the norm, you can get to the NBA through a Division II school. So,
or a Power 4.
Or a Power 4, right. Is it legal for a school like WVU to pay a prospective recruit a signing bonus while he or she is in high school? A highly regarded recruit who is a junior or sophomore in high school could defect to another school if not locked into an agreement of some kind? Just wondering.
I don't think so. I won't pretend to know all those rules, but I don't think the ability to start paying players through rev share and and NIL begins until they are actually enrolled at your university.
Ralph in Charleston says, since we now own the state of Kansas, maybe Secretary of Tourism Chelsea Ruby should open a tourism office there.
Bring a few more in.
Yeah, no doubt.
There were a ton of Mountaineer fans there this weekend. Now, Paul Schoenfeld's family, Paul's from Wichita to Kansas. He had a lot of family there. But it was more than just his family. And I've seen that in my many ventures on the road with West Virginia Athletics. They're West Virginians everywhere. Mm-hmm. And, they take advantage of their opportunities when WVU comes to that area. So it's not just, getting in the car or jumping on a plane and flying from West Virginia out to Lawrence. It's people who live in Kansas City or wherever, just make the short trip over and then add in 100 or so of his family members, and you had a nice Mountaineer contingent.
Yep, certainly did. Certainly did. All right, what is your thought? Loaded question, because I haven't read or talked to anybody yet that was in favor of this or love it. What was your take on the newly expanded 76-team NCAA tournament field?
Well, I guess I'll be a bit unusual because I'm not going to say I love it. I wouldn't have clamored for it, but I don't mind it. Travis, I view it like...
I kind of fall in the same boat with you. I like more. I like as many bowl games as possible.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I don't have any problem with this expansion.
I mean, I don't want the thing to get to the point where, you've got teams in there that are barely 500.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if they are from the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't want it to get to that point, but I don't think I get it. The tournament is looked at as kind of the perfect sports event, and it can't get any better. All you can do is ruin it, and maybe this will, we'll ultimately see. I mean, I don't know. I thought this year's tournament was not very good.
That's true.
Was that because there were too many teams in it? Probably not.
Or just one of those years.
Just one of those years.
And it may be in today's transfer world where the teams with the most money can collect the best players and leave everybody else by the wayside. Maybe that's what we're going to have to get used to a little bit. But I don't have any problem with this. Like you said, I don't have any problem with more bowl games. I don't have any more problem with more NCAA tournament games. I understand that not every game's going to be horribly competitive, but so be it. And people say, well, this is all about the money. Well, yeah, it is. Guess what? And especially, again, in today's world, it takes a lot of money to run an athletic program. And, every way you can generate more dollars, so be it. So I don't have any problem with them trying to generate more dollars through an expanded NCAA tournament. And if you don't like some of those early round games when these additional 8 will be playing, well, you don't have to tune in. So it will be interesting. We took a little bit of this survey with our texters on Friday, but I'll still be interested to hear from those.
What was the overall
line.
feeling from that?
It was about split, to be honest. So, others can chime in.
I'll make this prediction, though. I will make this one prediction. Come the Selection Sunday show of this next year, this year, or next year, be next calendar year, team number 77 and 78 will be complaining.
You're right. You are exactly right.
By the way, hopefully this is not poetic, but have you seen the new bracketology? West Virginia is the first team out, according to ESPN right now. So we might be the one complaining.
Yep. Again, we'll see.
A lot to go.
When you got so much turnover, how do you know? But all well and good. But you're right. I don't care if it's a 16-team bracket. The team number 17 is going to scream and holler, or
68 or 76, those that are just on the outside are always going to feel slighted.
Well, there is something to play for if you're the Mountaineers this coming year. There are Pittsburgh Regionals in the tournament this year.
Saw that.
So
West Virginia was
that would be
in
nice.
that once and absolutely got slammed by Gonzaga.
Yep.
What was that, 12 years ago or so? So that home court advantage or near court advantage didn't last very long. But it is nice for those of us that attend or cover or whatever that you can make a short drive rather than a long flight.
Sure. Jim in Morgantown. Jim, good evening.
Fellas, man, what a series for WG baseball.
Yeah.
When you think they're down and out, come back out and play the way they did against Kansas, and Kansas went just an absolute spiral down. I would never have imagined going into the weekend that we had a chance to actually win the Big 12 championship.
I think it's fair. I wouldn't have thought a sweep and to put them on the cusp. Now, they need to take care of business through the Mountaineers, and they also still need some help. But they're there. They're on the precipice.
Yeah. So the reason I was calling, it was actually funny that you're all talking about revenue and money. Historically, the WNBA loses $40 to $50 million a year, and I just can't imagine why they would be able to, or how they could even go into and give their players more money when they're losing money. And I mean, other than Mike that calls in, if you took an average person, if you talk to 100 people walking down the street right now in Morgantown and said, who's your favorite NBA player or WNBA player other than Caitlin Clark, 99 out of 100 couldn't name one individual. And even for WVU basketball for women, it's like you could do the same thing in Morgantown, and maybe 85 out of or 90 out of 100 couldn't name a single player. And nothing against the women basketball team, but it's just how can they restructure and get more money for their players when nobody's watching?
Well, because the ESPN's paying a very healthy dime to. And you got to remember, and I know you know this, Jim, but the NBA is underwriting the WNBA.
Sure.
So when the NBA decides that the WNBA is losing too much money, that's when the plug will get pulled. But let's look back. This league lost money from day one, and then at the end of year 5, everybody said, "No, this can't continue." Year 10, it can't continue. Year 15, it can't continue. This is year 30 of the WNBA. Yeah. So it's not going anywhere. It's growing. I mean, you can't deny that, whether that's Caitlin Clark. There's been great players prior to Caitlin Clark, but, now there are arenas that are sold out or close to sold out that's happening. I think the players are more marketable now than ever. Not just her. Paige Beckers is very marketable as well. Angel Reese gets her fair share of, deals. And there's others.
Sophia Cunningham's on every ad on TV.
Yeah. Sophie Cunningham's there, So, yeah, I mean, if you're a business person and you're looking at the books, your head is, you want to, gouge your eyes out. But because of the opportunities for women's basketball players and because of the buy-in and the commitment from the NBA, the WNBA is going nowhere.
Yeah. Travis, one thing I think you noted, and admittedly the crowds in arenas are much better. It's the Caitlin Clark effect, let's give it, but it's spread league-wide. But their TV contract, I don't know what it was in the past, but it is very substantial now, and that's a relatively new contract with.
Well, and it's multiple places, right?
Yeah,
it's just not not Disney.
No.
So the games are on multiple places. Ion's a big WNBA channel. I'm not sure it might be in the Disney family. I'm not sure.
But Prime has games now, as you said, the whole Disney family. But NBC has some games now. Peacock, which of course some of these, and Amazon also streams some games. Of course, that's through Prime. But in other words, there are multiple outlets that are now paying really good money. The story I'm reading, and now this is a WNBA story, but still, it's over $200 million per year for an 11-year contract that just went into effect starting this year. They signed it a year or two ago, but just went into effect. So there's a lot more money available, and I don't know if it's still profitable, but with the NBA also underwriting it, makes sense.
Yeah, just as we look up and see Caitlin Clark, State Farm commercial.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I don't know how that works. If the Fever get a part of that money, if it all goes to her, if any goes back to the league, not sure. But again, I don't pretend, nor am I interested in learning the ins and outs of the WNBA's finances. But I can just tell you that everybody's predicted its doom for years, and it's still alive and actually thriving.
Yeah, and again, it's up to those people. I'm glad for those women that are participating that are now making pretty good money. It's not WNBA, or it's not NBA money, but it's pretty good money. I mean, knowing JJ Quinterly and Jordan Harrison, even if they get lower end of the league minimum, wonderful for them. And they're great kids.
We haven't even mentioned what they can make overseas.
Yeah,
which now with the NBA being more competitive, you got $1 million players now. Used to be they could go over to Russia and make $1 million.
Yeah.
Where women's basketball has always been more popular overseas. Back to baseball. Just did a quick little preview look here at TCU. But they're an interesting team. They either take 3-game sweeps of weekend series, or they either get swept on weekend series. That's kind of the pattern.
Up or down, no in between. Huh?
No in between. They swept Utah this weekend in Fort Worth. They got swept in 3 games at Oklahoma State the weekend before. They swept Houston the weekend prior to that, and then did win 2 out of 3 against Baylor the weekend prior to that, sandwiched with a non-conference win over UT Arlington. So West Virginia, again, it's a 32-18 TCU team. So this is certainly going to be a challenge. Meanwhile, with what Kansas has facing them with BYU, who's 25-25 on the season. They were in Texas Tech and Lubbock this weekend and took 1 out of 2 in that series. However, high-scoring affairs. They pounded out in just 2 games, 23 runs. They lost 15-11 today, won 12-3 on Saturday, and fell 2-1 on Friday night.
So 1 game behind for West Virginia, Kansas. So obviously Mountaineers need a 1-game difference in the BYU.
Yep. Yeah, 3-0 or 2-1 if they go 1-2 or whatever.
So exactly. It's not all just what West Virginia does, but obviously they've got to take care of their own business against TCU, and then hope the BYUers do them some good as well. But it'll be interesting to see what Kansas's psyche is like after this. They'd been riding so high. They did lose an extra inning midweek game against Creighton, so they've now fallen in 4 straight. But they'd been red hot prior to that. So what's this do to them? And on the other side of things, West Virginia is so hot. What happens with the Mountaineers?
Yeah, judging by the tone of their television talent, I think they were very surprised by what happened this weekend.
We know and love Kansas's play-by-play guy, Brian Haney, who does football, basketball, and baseball as well. But he definitely enjoys his Jayhawks. Let's just say it that way. That's fine. I mean, that's who employs him. So, but we had him on. I will
say that on the West Virginia television broadcast, they do a very good job, I think, of being neutral. They really do.
Yeah, and it's probably how ESPN Plus should play it, right? Because that's going to both markets now. The radio side, different.
Oh, yeah, have at it. You're on the Mountaineer Sports Network.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. But I'm not going to complain about Brian. It is what it is. And but yeah, I know Kyle did a interview with Brian Haney, again, their play-by-play guy, for Sportsline on Friday. He had to tape it early, so Brad and I weren't available. But there's no doubt he thought the Jayhawks were ready for the Yankees.
Yep, they were humming right along. Texter, good show as always. The Mountaineers should be in the top 10 tomorrow. Your thoughts?
Top 10, that's a good one.
That'd be a pretty big jump.
Yeah, I don't know what others have done. Obviously, Kansas. But again, you just beat Kansas 3 straight times, but the Jayhawks are still ahead of you in league standings. So my thought is you should be ahead of Kansas because you swept them, but they still are in the league lead. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about top 10. That may be a little bit too much of a jump, trying to be realistic about this and not being too much of a homer. But
all right.
Probably if you're not out of the teens, if you're not in the 12-ish range, it'd be a disappointment.
Yeah, agreed. All right, one more text for the break. 304-TALK 304. Texter says, I'm not surprised that Riley McCluskey left. I often found myself thinking she should play more. Yeah, I think she was just stuck behind more experienced, better players right now. Mm-hmm. I think this season would have been the year that she would have played more.
Yeah.
So,
and again, I mean, Riley, I thought was a really nice key cog for West Virginia as part of their rotation, but she also wasn't defensively as efficient as the others that she was behind. I mean, you're talking about Gia Cook and such. So Sydney Shaw. I mean, those are the two primary sort of wings that West Virginia had. And when Riley was in, she was very important, but the other two, I think, gave them a better defense. So I think that's why she didn't play much last year. Could have been there this year.
Yep.
Probably, but we'll see. I mean, nice pickup for Tennessee and Kim Caldwell.
Texter says, shoot, I was hoping the Fairmont could lure Jim Crutchfield back to the Mountain State. Well, a couple things on that. Jim Crutchfield probably has the best Division II job in America. He's made it that way right now. But I don't know if you're familiar with Nova Southeastern, but basically their dorms are located on the beach. He's got it rolling down there. Has played for multiple national championships. Has some good NIL funding there as well. So the only place Jim Crutchfield is going, I believe, will be to retirement when he's ready.
Well, he's already in the retirement community, right?
Yes.
So that's a good question, and you don't have to give specifics for any particular team. What you said, good NIL funding. What is good NIL funding in Division II?
$150,000 to $200,000.
Okay.
A year currently. Yep. That's where you got to be to play with the big boys.
Okay.
Going up every year.
That's amazing because we think of
it. Listen, and I know this because I just listened to Dwayne Osborne speak on Friday to a group of donors at Fairmont State, and he remarked that he had talked to Gannon, the coaches at Gannon, who just won the national championship, and just said, what are you guys spending right now? And that's $150,000 to $200,000 is where it was, and I think 2 years ago, he said it was 50 to 80.
Wow, so it's gone up.
It's gone up that much in a couple of years.
And we know that Power 4 has just skyrocketed. I think one of the national people who has knowledge of the situation said it's gone up 60 to 70% just this past year.
Yep. Absolutely.
Almost as much as gas.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, hopefully, but it won't drop like the gas prices eventually will. All right, 12 till the top, 304-TALK, 304-800-765-8255. That's 1-800-765-TALK. We'll be back to talk more in a moment.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs and 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
All along on this Sunday night, again coming up in our second hour, Gavin Kelly stopped by 3 guys before the game. We'll listen into some of that conversation coming up. Also, Jared Calhoun spent some time with the Big East media, Big 12 media. We'll play some of that.
Someday you'll get that
whatever.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Greg and Lake Norman, Coach, what do you mean there's people from West Virginia everywhere? Every time I watch a WVU game on TV, the announcers always say it looks like a lot of people have made the trip over the game from Morgantown.
Yeah.
And as far as the expansion of the basketball tournament, it doesn't matter how many teams are in. It comes down to either WVU or UNC for the final spot again, and I think we all know how that's going to go, don't we?
Well, I think, like many of us, he's still hurting from past decisions. So, yeah, I always do find it funny when they say, it's like the only Mountaineer fans have to be from Morgantown.
They do it in NFL games, too.
I've
heard announcers say, well, there's a lot of people here who made the trip from Pittsburgh.
They're Steeler fans everywhere.
Yeah.
And I've made this note before, some of the Big 12 fan bases. Now, again, we're talking, there's some big universities, and when Kansas comes to Morgantown, those people aren't all coming from Lawrence.
No.
But there's so many alums.
Yeah, a lot of them are probably coming from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so many alums who live in the area, and this is their best chance if you want to see your favorite team in the East. They come in great numbers. The same thing from BYU, and we know because of its religious affiliation.
Notre Dame's
Mormons
the same
everywhere. Yeah.
I mean,
so those people take advantage when you come to town, and for West Virginia natives and expatriates and whatever.
I think that's an interesting question. Yeah. How many schools can you name that are like that? I think Notre Dame, BYU, Army, Navy would be 4 that would come to mind. And what I'm saying is schools that have fan bases that really have no ties to the school or that state or the city that the school is located in. Can you think of any else?
No,
I mean, USC probably some.
Maybe a little, but I mean, West Virginia is an interesting one. I mean, if you don't count people that are just alums, I think West Virginia would fit some of your narrative because, I mean, there's so many people in the state that consider themselves rabid
well, I'm saying
Mountaineer
they have no
fans, but-
ties to the state.
Yeah, but no.
Because I'm sure there's Texas fans that have ties to the state of Texas.
I think those are the ones, for the most part, to be interested. Somebody can come up with Notre Dame, certainly.
Yep.
BYU. I mean, the religious schools, but not all of them.
Yeah, Army, Navy, Air Force Service academies.
Yeah, I don't think you could say all the religious schools, because I don't feel Boston College, TCU, Baylor, they're not like that.
No.
I'm trying to think of anybody else.
Yeah, that's all.
I hate to give them credit, but maybe it's because of their way back when. But I think Miami had a little bit of that flavor back then. There were people that were Miami fans just because of Miami.
Because of the personalities and
right.
Yeah, they had some flamboyant players and
And
Warren Sapp kicking over the pylons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good one for our text line. Give us others that you can think of that are along that vein.
All right. 304 Talk 304. Texter, what are the chances now, do you think, of hosting a regional?
I still think you need to close really strong. I mean, you're getting right on the edge. And again, it's always not just what you do, right? It's based on what others do. You got to take at least 2 out of 3 against TCU and then make a run in the Big 12 tournament. Now, remember, West Virginia, I think they still technically aren't locked into the top 5, but the top 5 get buys to the quarterfinal round. So that helps because the bottom several, I think it's 4, play, 2 rounds prior to that. So you jump way ahead. So if you can win 2 out of 3 against TCU and at least get to the finals, Travis, give me your opinion. I think that puts you
pretty good
right
case.
on the cusp.
Yeah, pretty good case. I don't know if the baseball committee is the same as the basketball committee, but we know that how much value they put on how you've played down the stretch.
Yeah.
So hopefully that weighs some in West Virginia's favor.
Yeah. I mean, certainly you still have work to do. Let's face that. I mean, even though this season's coming down, you can't go into TCU and lose 2 out of 3.
Oh, certainly not.
Go one and done and surprise Arizona.
Well, I mean, it's been you certainly have resurrected your chances.
Yeah.
Because they were throwing dirt on you here.
Yeah, not that long ago. I'll admit I was one of those, even before the Kansas State series, but I didn't even know if Kansas State was going to help a lot because their RPI numbers weren't very good. But sweeping at Kansas, that's huge.
Yep, for sure.
And I haven't looked. Where is TCU's RPI? How much is this going to help West Virginia? I'll take a look at that one.
While you do that, I'm sure you caught this, but the Big 12 announced we don't have many of the Big 12 game times, but we do have one, and it happens to be the last one. Make that make sense.
Okay.
But, the Big 12's announced that the BYU game in Salt Lake, this is Friday, remember, November 27th, will begin at either 8 or 9 Eastern time. The first 3 game times, networks, and a special date television selections will be announced later this month.
I think you meant Utah. You said BYU.
I'm sorry. Yes, Utah.
Yeah. All those schools run together.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah,
but
Utah.
You're right. So it may be late or really late for fans here.
Yeah, by the way, that's
East.
the semifinal playoff weekend in high school here.
Okay. So. TCU, by the way, in baseball is currently RPI number 46. So that's okay. That's a quad 2 for West Virginia. So it wouldn't be a bad series, and it's quad 4 or something like that. So that could still help West Virginia if you can take care of business against the Horned Frogs this coming week.
So that was the first football game time, right? Everything else
Correct.
is TBA.
Correct. The first 3 will be announced in the summer. And then after you get out of the September games, they hold those until, that 6-day, 12-day window type thing. Now, any of the special games like Utah,
they announce ahead of time. But that'll be the only one that'll be announced ahead of time. Everything else.
I mentioned special date. Do you think there's a chance any of these move?
I haven't heard that any will, but I did notice that. So I guess you can't completely dismiss that possibility because of that wording. I haven't talked to anybody at WVU about that yet to know if that's in the works. But TV comes calling.
Mm-hmm.
They will make some changes. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of those Friday games, I did see Fox has a whole Friday slate of games.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And, I mean,
that's pretty beefed up this year, too.
Yeah,
better games.
West Virginia, Utah is part of that slate. They've announced all their Friday opponents already. I would think any that ESPN would have, which would be the others. The Big 12 TV contract is spread out that it has sub-licenses to others. I don't think any of the others would carry it, though. But anyways, I haven't seen what ESPN's doing with further Thursday games or Friday games, if they could move West Virginia to one of those.
Another week 0 year. I know they've talked about doing away with that in the future, but that is happening this college football season. The first weekend of college games are Saturday, August the 29th. Saw today that today is the exact halfway point of the college football schedule. 111 days since the end of the season, 111 days to the first game. So we're halfway there.
Did not realize it. So we do have 111 more days to go.
Yep.
Did you see the AFCA, the American Football Coaches Association, put out some of their proposed changes, recommendations that the coaches have? And NCAA has to approve any of those, but one of those had to do with it stems around the playoffs and starting the playoffs earlier. Thus doing away with conference championship games completely. So you could start the college playoffs that year, and then having everybody the opportunity to start in that week 0 time frame, because they only want one open date per school per year. So compress the regular season a little bit, because a lot of schools have 2 open dates. But give them that opportunity to use the week 0 and then have a move from there and be done. Really, I guess that would make it Thanksgiving weekend. And then start the playoffs and bowls and all those type of things. Your thought? You like that? Do you like to start with the no conference championship game? Do you like that?
I do like that. I mean, it's going to, if you keep expanding the playoffs, that's going to have to go away. I think most football coaches would like it. Don't you think? That's just another tripwire to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know financially how that all works out.
Financially, those things can be pretty lucrative. Certainly for the SEC, somebody said you can make $40-50 million just by that one conference championship game, and cut it down for the other leagues. But even if it's half that for the Big 12, that's pretty good money, even if you're not involved, because everybody will get a share of it. So, $1.5 million just for sitting at home. Maybe more if you go.
Speaking of, did you see that the men's Division I rules subcommittee, Division I, Division III, Division II has their own deal. D3 falls in line with D1. I don't know why D2 doesn't, but they just do it to make it difficult. But either way, met virtually this week to discuss a couple of potential rule changes.
I've seen this, but go ahead, because I did find these interesting.
So the committee focused on the current trends and potential future modifications. The central topic was whether the NCAA men's basketball should further evaluate transitioning from 2 halves to 4 quarters, much like the women do.
And every other basketball entity except for college.
Except for Division I, Division III men.
Yeah. Division II They do quarters as well?
No, they still
men?
do halves.
They
Yeah,
do halves.
They still, except women.
Okay. So, but this rule wouldn't impact D2 because they make their own rules.
Yeah,
but
and they're
they
usually
may
a year
follow
behind.
suit. Yeah.
They're usually a year behind.
Okay.
While the concept has been discussed in previous years, the committees plan to seek additional feedback from the broader NCAA men's basketball community, the key stakeholders, to determine whether the format change would benefit the sport. Areas of evaluation including potential impact on pace of play, game flow, and strategy, particularly regarding the resetting of team fouls, as well as the overall game length. Committees will also examine possible commercial implications, including effects on broadcast structure and fan engagement. So they're still talking about that. Approved rules. So these are happening. Minor adjustments to a couple existing rules. Officials now will call 10-second backcourt violations when the shot clock reaches 19 seconds rather than 20. The change aligns better with shot clocks that measure tenths of seconds and improves accuracy in administrating the rules. The two media timeouts would otherwise occur consecutively. When two media timeouts would otherwise concur consecutively, the game clock must run before the second timeout is granted.
Okay. So I understand that's a little screwy. And
which I think it would anyway.
Well, if you don't have any stoppages in the 4-minute period, that would require another media timeout. So if you go straight through the 4 minutes and there's no stoppage,
okay,
I think you could have back-to-back media timeouts
without any time coming off the clock. How?
Because you
you'd have to throw the ball in and it'd be touched. You'd still have to take a second off the clock.
No, I think they say you don't have to because say you start the game and you get to 14 minutes on the clock. Well, you should be into I guess now you'd be inside of 12. So I guess it'd be an 8-minute stretch. And you should have 2 media timeouts that are in your back pocket. You could take them back to back. So the odds of that ever happening are pretty slim.
Yep. Okay. Points of emphasis. Okay, putting priority on enforcement in the following areas this year: post-play physicality, offensive 3-second violations, which is never called except for a tournament game I saw this year, freedom of movement, and traveling, which I feel like those are outside of the 3 seconds in the lane. Those are things they've emphasized every year.
Yeah, isn't that always there? And again, they may call it for the first 2 games, and then it reverts back to the way it's always been done or has been done for many years. So, okay. I'll get your opinion because you've done women's games, you've done men's games. So, do you like the quarters rather than the halves? Is it something that you want to say has to be done, or okay, don't care? What are your thoughts?
I love it. I honestly, and it may just be a mental perception.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like games move faster that way.
Yeah.
Now the bigger question is, and I don't know. This is a good question to throw out, and maybe we'll do it next week because it'll deserve a lot of conversation. I feel like. I feel like that the quarters to me are less of a impact on the game than if they go the full Monty and go to the women's game, reset the fouls at the end of the quarters, no more 1-and-1, everything's 2 shots. I'll have to look. There's data out there on the amount of free throw shooting that occurs when this happens. It's down. It seems you get more live ball play, people foul less. But the biggest one on the women's side that I personally like, but I think it would be kind of a polarizing topic, and that is the ball advancement.
Yeah, advancement of the ball with a timeout in the backcourt to the front court, which is an NBA type rule also, but certainly one that is very prevalent and important in women's basketball.
Yep.
I don't mind that. I've thought of that. I'm going to have to ask, Ross Hodge and some of the men's coaches we deal with what they think of that. I don't think the quarters they would mind. That one would be even more radical for them than changing from halves to quarters.
Yeah, and I get it. And the fouling too. It change if you're behind. It limits your ability to get back into the games because everything's 2 shots instead. There's no more 1-and-1s.
Yeah.
In that situation, I don't know.
I tell you the other thing about the timeouts to advance the ball. The other thing it does that I've noticed is, and it drives me nuts, just all these timeouts just to stop the clock, and it's just like fouling. Well, coaches save those timeouts now. They don't use them just willy-nilly because they know how important they are to save them to advance the ball. So I think you get fewer timeouts used when it's just a pure clock stoppage situation. So.
All right. Well, more discussion. We'll have to look up. I know there's some data out there, so I'll try to find that and at least have some data to back up my argument when we discuss this in future weeks. But just something on the radar for folks to keep an eye on. Take a break. We'll come right back. Jared Calhoun again talked with the Big 12 Conference. We'll listen into that visit when we return.
Getting ghosted is never fun, especially by your network. Cyber threats don't announce themselves. They slip in quietly, disrupt operations, and disappear before you know what happened. CityNet's cybersecurity services provide proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert response so your business stays connected and protected. Commit to a relationship built on trust and reliability. Learn more at citynet.net today. And remember, CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
All right, welcome back. Sportsline continues. Let's go back to the phones. Brad down in Charleston listening in on WCHS. Brad, good evening.
I'm Bob.
Oh, sorry about that, Bob. Got Brad on the call screener. Go ahead.
I just had two comments. I noticed that there's no TBT team from West Virginia this year, and I wondered if that's a result of couldn't get players' interest because no players stay 2 years in Morgantown anymore. Is that probably the reason why?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, that thing's become, less and less players that have ties. Yeah. And I'm not talking about – West Virginia's done a pretty good job of getting guys with ties to West Virginia, but if you look at, a lot of the schools – or a lot of the teams, it's just hired henchmen. So really no bearing.
It is hard. And I'm not saying it doesn't have a little bit to do with it, because those alumni teams are more fun to watch at least from our perspective, right?
Well, West Virginia had aged out 2 years ago, but I thought they did a pretty good job last year of tapping into some of the younger
But I think it's hard. And I mean, let's face it, some of West Virginia's best players that would be really good in that are playing in the NBA. Yeah.
Well, it all comes down to one thing to me, and it's money.
Yeah.
And I think the TBT has financially slowly gotten themselves into a situation where it's less profitable, there's less interest in it. And because of that, when they're losing money on that end, what do they have to do? They have to jack up the entry fee for the teams. That there's a fee that the teams have to fork out to even be considered to play in it. So I think it's financially not there, and maybe hopefully it'll come back. I think it's an enjoyable thing, but
and let's face it, it's also we talk about those players. Most of those players are playing somewhere, right? I mean, they may not be in the NBA, but they're playing overseas. They only get a couple months off. That's part of their vacation window, time with their family, and that winner take all prize. If you're not winning it all, they can do some things to earn a little bit, but it's pretty minimal in comparison to what you give up in terms of time and energy when you're spending.
I got one other comment, if you'll let me.
Go ahead, Bob.
My son said, and I haven't seen anything, but my son told me that he thought one of the preseason prediction services had West Virginia 15th out of the Big 12, 15 out of 16.
Which sport, football or basketball?
Huh?
Which
football
sport?
Or basketball?
Football.
Okay.
Yeah, that was ESPN. Yeah, it was ESPN. I've actually got the report here, but that's who it was.
Okay, so it's right, Bob.
Are we that bad?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, again, like we talk about, who has any idea? I mean, West Virginia's got a ton of new players that have to come together. I think that this team is certainly better than it was last year, but you can't guarantee anything in year to year with anybody. And West Virginia included. I think it's all a guess anymore.
I don't think. I mean, I'd safely say I would be shocked if West Virginia finishes next to last in the Big 12.
It'd be highly disappointing.
Yeah,
but
this
again,
is what they say. I've got it here. You want to
go
hear
ahead.
it, and then
Yes,
you can tell me what you agree and disagree with. Biggest coaching move. Coach Rich Rodriguez twice had to fill his defensive ends assistant role, initially hiring Larry Knight, who left for a spot at Georgia, then bringing in veteran Deke Adams, who most recently worked at Arkansas. Adams also has made stops at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and elsewhere. Rodriguez added running backs coach Jay Boulware, who spent the past 3 years at Kentucky with backs and special teams coordinator. Boulware worked in the Big 12 at Texas, Oklahoma, and Iowa State. What went wrong? Rodriguez and his coaches are continually one of the most ambiguous roster flips in all of sport, or in the sport. West Virginia had 28 players start 4 or more games last season. Only 3 of them, Scotty Fox, Nick Cray, and Landon Livingston, are still on the roster. 18 of the players who moved on were graduating seniors. Another 7 exited via the portal, including top receivers Cam Vaughn and Rodney Gallagher. The Mountaineers parted ways with 43 scholarship transfers this offseason, and are working with a 2026 that will feature more than 80 newcomers. What went right? This is the last thing. Mountaineers again imported a ton of experience with their portal class. Cook was the leading rusher in FBS last season. Hawkins started 5 games at Oklahoma, is competing with Fox for the starting job. The Mountaineers found good new options. That's bad English on ESPN's part. Found good new options. A receiver. They added 4 multi-year starters on the offensive line. On defense, Campbell should be an impact pass rusher after putting up the second most pressures in the Sun Belt last season, per ESPN research. He's one of 11 portal pickups coming in with the starting experience, and 8 junior college additions should help boost depth. The future looks bright, too, after the Mountaineers inked a top 25 recruiting class in the ESPN rankings.
I mean, I think they got a lot of it right. I mean, admittedly, the questions that West Virginia has, with a ton of turnover, how will that go? I think they highlighted the positives that offensively, you've got the country's top returning rusher, last year's returning rusher overall. 4 multi-year FBS starters and 5 transfers who started football games for you in your offensive line last year from elsewhere, plus a couple that return from WVU, and add in Kevin Brown, who's a highly regarded freshman. So, wide receivers, I think, are, better, though Cam Vaughn, admittedly, when he played hard, was a high-level talent. So I will admit that a lot of those questions are legitimate. I did find it interesting of the coaching additions. The one that I think most people around here would point to real quickly that they didn't mention was Rick Trickett.
Yep.
And a guy who is taking over what was your worst unit last year in offensive line. And that was just, I'm not going to, say it was all coaching. Unfortunately, it was just a talent level thing. And the kids were, good kids who tried. They just weren't all that good. And they've had a ton of turnover there, and they think they're much, much better. And we know what Rick Trickett has done. So to me, he's by far the biggest coaching addition on this football team. But I'd say the other aspects of that are probably fair. Does that make them 15th? I don't know.
It's total guess.
Yeah.
It's total guess. At this point, these preseason polls had always been guesses. Now it's even worse.
Yeah. Who was 16th? Who was below West Virginia?
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay.
I can look it up, but I'll tell you in a minute. Guys, who do you think WVU doesn't, or why? I'm sorry. Guys, why do you think the NCAA doesn't allow football scrimmages or practice games? Also, would you be in favor of them? I know Rich is in favor of them.
Talked to Rich about it before, and most college coaches are a little bit like Rich, and they want it until you say, okay, get out there and bang heads against another program, and now you got a couple guys that are have a possibility of getting injured. I think if, in my discussions with Coach Rod and others, what they would rather have is sort of the NFL-type practice, and they're not even open exhibitions. It's more scrimmage work and drill work against a completely other team. Lessens your injury possibilities. I've seen those. I've gone to some of those in the NFL. Travis, I don't know if you have as well, but bring in somebody and you don't even open it up in your stadium. You just do it at your practice facility.
Yeah, much like they've done in basketball.
Yeah.
With the super secret.
Yeah, exactly. So if they, like anything else, if they figure out there's a lot of money to be made, maybe they do it more. But if you do it and you don't make money and it causes injuries, I think coaches are a little leery.
By the way, that ranking was ranking the off seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now that I look at that, ranking the off season. So that was not necessarily. Well, I mean, it's not like they're going to pick West Virginia 1 after ranking them 15th in off season movement.
Okay, I find that interesting though, because I think West Virginia. Now again, they lost some some good players. I wouldn't say many great players because they didn't have a lot of great players
Right.
on last year's team. But they did lose players, but I think they've added better than they've lost by far.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their coaching additions, especially if you add in Rick Trickett, have been very good. So, are there 14 teams ahead of West Virginia in that regard?
Texas Tech number 1, BYU number 2, Arizona number 3, Houston number 4, Oklahoma State 5, TCU, Arizona State, the Utes, Colorado, Kansas State, Baylor, UCF, Kansas, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Iowa State.
We lost almost everybody.
Right. So I think the correlation to that is I think they looked at just amount of players lost.
Yeah.
And then went from there. All right, 7:25. Jared Calhoun, that interview we promised you when we come back.
At WVU Medicine, our nationally recognized Heart and Vascular Institute is focused on keeping your heart strong. Our experts bring world-class care close to home, using the most advanced technology. Because in medicine, the best heart is one that beats for life. And it takes the best in heart care to protect it. WVU Heart and Vascular Institute, West Virginia's leader in heart care. For more information, visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Looking for a show that talks about everything? You found it.
By the way, I'm really happy to talk about this as opposed to Ryan's opinion that being a sports fan is a bad thing.
He said that it kept him from being stressed about it, not that it was a bad thing. They didn't have the stress. And, I mean, I've seen you pace.
Yeah, you're only 30 and you look like that.
So true. So
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on MetroNews Television.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
What does it mean to lead in medicine? J.W. Ruby Memorial Hospital is the top hospital in West Virginia, nationally recognized for 3 programs and 18 procedures and conditions. But to us, leadership means being first in care, in lives saved, in lives restored. In medicine, we lead in the ways that truly matter.
About 30 minutes left in tonight's show. Again, Jared Calhoun on Friday joined the host on the Big 12 Today. This airs on the Big 12 channel on Sirius XM Radio, so audio courtesy of the Big 12 Conference. Chance to talk with Jared Calhoun and get an update on his first couple of weeks on the job there in Cincinnati.
I'm doing great, Ari. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate your time, and let's just start right there. Obviously, in hearing about your background, reading about you after getting this job, it makes a ton of sense, based on the time you spent in Cincinnati. So let's just start right there. Why the Bearcats? Why now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the timing was obviously pretty awesome, right? We just finished an incredible year at Utah State. This opportunity was one that just couldn't turn down, right? I mean, the familiarity with the program. I grew up a Cincinnati Bearcat fan. I grew up wearing the shorts and, all the different jerseys. So when I was coming up, the Bearcats were everything in the state of Ohio. So we're going to do everything in our power to get it back and get it back right away.
Man, I love the shorts reference. Us too. Kenyon Martin was obsessed with those Cincinnati teams. How would you define your coaching philosophy? Because you're from the Bob Huggins tree. If you don't play defense, you don't play. But then you guys at Utah State were so efficient offensively. So I'd just love to hear your perspective.
Saving money feels right, just like when things are packed tidy and tight.
Yeah, I think we're very modern in the way we play the game of basketball. I think we're very old school in how we build our program. Not only Coach Huggins, but I played for a Hall of Fame coach in Raleigh Massimino. Learned from some great coaches, Jeff Young at Walsh University. I was with Hugs a long, long time ago. I've been a head coach for 14 years. So you have to evolve. You have to adapt. We've been one of the best offenses in America, not just really at Utah State, but our time at Youngstown State. So it's pretty simple. We want to find, create, and keep advantages, right? How do you score the basketball? You create an advantage. It's the same thing in football. Defensively, we want to be very disruptive. We play a couple different defenses. So I think kids like playing our style, James. I think it's an attractive style. Nobody goes in the portal to talk about defense, right? So, our style is pretty unique to the rest of the country because we have a history of scoring the basketball and being efficient year in and year out.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too, from a modern perspective, because we just talked about this with Gary Parrish, that it's constantly evolving. I mean, we saw the college basketball be overrun by pace and space. Now we saw a Final Four that included some of the best front courts in the nation. So, what is sort of your task in trying to stay ahead of the curve there, and maybe trying to find the new philosophies that will be the best part of this, the best aspect of the sport?
Yeah, I think it's the best part of the transfer portal. I hear a lot of coaches complain about it. I actually, we've won 101 games in 4 years since the transfer portal started. So I'm kind of enamored by it. I kind of enjoy putting the puzzle pieces together. And what we try to do, Ari, this year at Cincinnati, every year is different, right? Because, you just don't have the budget. At Utah State, we had $800,000 our first year. We were the lowest at-large team in America. This past year, we had $2.4 million, and we won 2 championships and beat Villanova. So I think everywhere you're at, it's a little bit different based on your budget. But we wanted to get positional size. We wanted to be very long. We wanted to be very athletic at every position, and I think we were able to do that in the portal. Obviously, we had to bring a whole new team in. So it was exciting. Not a lot of sleep, but we got a lot to sell. Because Cincinnati has certainly changed a great deal in the last 20 years.
Well, man, I love your journey. You've won everywhere you've been, NAIA, D2, Horizon, Mountain West, now in the Big 12. Of all these stops, which stop and why has taught you the most about coaching people?
Yeah, I would say Fairmont State. That was my first job. I had 2 guys around my staff, Mantoris Robinson and Paul Molinari, and then a young coach by the name of Joe Mazzulla, now the coach of the Boston Celtics. So, you're driving up 79, you're in vans, you're on buses, nobody's watching you. You have no idea what you're doing, and you're just learning, right? I was 29 years old as a head coach. So that's really where we kind of learned how to manage people, try different things. And then, I'm so grateful. Youngstown State Had a great athletic director in Ron Strollo, a great president in Jim Tressel, a guy that has become a great mentor of mine. And then Utah State was awesome. It was just an unbelievable 2-year run, great home court environment. I thought the Herd, their student section, is one of the best in the country. So everywhere you go, you get a chance to learn. And it's really about meeting great people. I loved all my stops. But, Cincinnati's home. It's just a different feel.
Yeah, and talk a little bit more about your relationship with Joe Mazzulla, obviously, which goes back to your time in Morgantown. And then I believe, was it that there's like a book that's influential in your life that he shared with you?
Yeah, so there's a lot of Joe Mazzulla stories. Obviously, he's one of my good buddies. I was the best man in his wedding. I coached him. He was on my staff. I thought he was the greatest skill development guy I've ever seen, taking a player and trying to get from point A to B and just building those relationships and just talking to him, leadership, different things. But yeah, after year 2 in coaching, this was about 14 years ago, we had won 22, 23 games and I was in a dark place because we couldn't beat this one team called West Liberty. The guy's a great Division II coach. I believe he's won 3 national championships. And Joe put a book on my desk called Lead for God's Sake by Todd Gongwer. And the author, actually, he's become a good friend of mine. And it changed, my perspective on life. This was about a crazed basketball coach that all he cared about was winning and losing. And that was me at a young age. So I've evolved, I've changed, empowered everybody, and it's made me a better coach.
Jared, when I look at your body of work, something that's incredibly rare is everywhere you've been, you've improved your win total, stacked season after season. Fairmont State 20 to 22 to 25 to 34. Then you did the same thing at Youngstown State and even the 2 years at Utah State. Is that what you try to do? Let's get a little better each season. How have you been able to accomplish that?
Yeah, I think it's understanding each other, right? I think it's a collaborative effort. I think it starts with your staff. I've got one of the best young staffs in the country. Everybody tries to go out and hire the big name recruiter or the big name assistant coach. We're guys that just eat, sleep, drink basketball, right? We love the game of basketball. All of our wives are very, very close. It's a family affair. Coach Massimino taught me that many years ago. So I think continuity with the staff, and then I also think continuity within your program. At Cincinnati, we did it a little different in the portal. We went young and old, and that's been our recipe. We don't go all old guys. We get a mixture of young guys that we can build the base with for years to come. And then we get our 1-year guys. And then if the 5th-year rule passes here, which everybody says it's going to, we got a chance to keep all of these guys. And that's how you build something special.
You've had a lot of success, especially the last 2 years in close games. I think you were 8-1 last year, then 9-3 in 2020, the year before that. So what's the secret sauce?
Yeah, it's something, I talk a lot about with Joe about different coaches. My staff is really, really good. It's situational basketball, right? It's one in the margins, right? Before and after the half. It's how many points can you create on baseline out of bounds? How many points can you create on ATOs? I'm enamored by that stuff. I think those are, duties of the coach. If we have a low percentage, we're not efficient coming out of timeouts each game, it drives me nuts. Those are the things that keep me up at night. So we got to do our job as well, and I think in college basketball, the more you practice it, the kids understand what you want. And we won a lot of close games over the years because we were prepared. An unprepared team is, a direct correlation of the coaching staff. And that's the last thing we want to be, is unprepared.
Coach, when you say the eligibility 5 for 5, are you talking about players that you've signed in the portal that would be with you for 2 years? Or are you talking about guys that maybe with Cincinnati last year or came with you from Utah State? Can you just touch on that?
Yeah, I think it's more, James, the guys that we signed in the portal that are now seniors, going to be seniors coming up. They could actually possibly be juniors, right, or get that 5th year back. So We signed some underclassmen in the portal. And then we also signed a lot of one-year players that if this goes through, they'll get that year back. So certainly it's going to be interesting to see the direction of how this goes.
All right, last thing for me, Coach. Who was your favorite Cincinnati player growing up?
Man, that's hard. I'm a little biased, but, there's three great ones from Cleveland. One went to my high school, Mel Levitt, Steve Logan, Kenyon Martin. The list is so deep. Nick Van Exel. There's a lot of them. I don't want to leave any of those guys off. Corey Blunt, David Flint. I mean, just a ton of them.
Yeah. Can't wait. We'll meet you here in a couple weeks at the spring meetings in Frisco. Congratulations on the opportunity at Cincinnati, and can't wait to see your team this next year, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. Look forward to meeting you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, there is Jared Calhoun with Big East Channel on Sirius XM on Friday. 20 till the top. 3 guys for the game. Gavin Kelly stopped by. We'll listen into a sample of that when we come back.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline
returns in 2 minutes
on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
All right, Sportsline continues. One of the heroes of the weekend for the Mountaineer baseball team, Gavin Kelly, stopped by 3 guys before the game this past week prior to the trip out to Lawrence. Guys asked Gavin the first question, when did you first have contact with Mountaineer skipper Steve Sabins?
Oh, I mean, in-person contact probably like
7th grade. Whenever I came.
What?
Oh, you came for a camp?
I came for a camp, and then I got in touch with him, talked with him on the phone throughout probably 8th grade to my sophomore year, and committed my sophomore year of high school.
Dude, wait a second.
Hold on.
Hang on.
7th
Wait a
grade?
second. Can baseball? You can call offensive timeout in baseball now, right?
Yeah.
This
is there a signal? What's a signal for an offensive timeout? You just tell the blue
Put your
guy.
hand
You
up.
just
Okay.
Put your hand up.
Yeah. I got to ask you
But
something.
the ump's going to walk out after a short
Wait a
period of
second.
time, so go ahead and get it in.
I'm a little taken aback by this. Wait a second. Timeout. So, like in 7th, 8th grade, like most kids are in middle school, they're still eating their boogers. Like he's calling you and you're talking to.
Well, no, that was a little much. Yeah, it was.
Well, they would. Some do. Not all of them. There's a small
Just
group.
go ahead.
There's a small group. And so the dude's calling you. You're chatting with him in 8th grade.
I think the rules back then were I had to call him and then he had to answer. So it wasn't like getting him in trouble.
Those rules in
No,
place.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
so,
you're right.
There would be times that he would reach out to my summer ball coach and give me a time to call him.
Yeah.
And that's
all
how
fair. That's how you obfuscate the rules, because nowadays there aren't any rules, but Steve was still playing by the rules back then. So when you're 8th grade, like, what are you talking to him about?
I mean, what I need to improve on if I want to play here, what they see me at, like, position-wise, just overall, like, what I need to do to get better.
So 7th grade, you come down here for camp.
Yeah.
And obviously you ID'd yourself to them. They went like, oh, wait a second. That one over there. What were you doing? Were you straight infield back then? Were you catching? What were you doing? What did you think that they looked at that they said they liked?
So I wanted to be a shortstop. So I came in as a shortstop, but I also worked out as catching at the camp. And they told me that my arm action would be better behind the plate. So I really worked at getting better at catching. And I wouldn't say that immediately whenever I went to the camp either that I like stood out. It was more so that like I was there and then I kept coming and then I kept coming.
You wouldn't leave them alone. You're stalking them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I would send them emails of videos and
good. I see.
Update them about what I'm doing outside of it and just trying to show them that I am improving and getting better.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great part on your part. So was it always West Virginia in play? Were they the one, or were you sharing with other schools?
I mean, there are other schools that reached out and that wanted, especially after I committed, which...
Well, wait a second. So 7th and 8th, is West Virginia the only school talking to you?
I mean, I would say yes and no. Like, I don't really remember the whole timeline, but I'd say 8th grade was whenever everything, I guess, started talking, if that makes sense.
When you guys think about this, now in all seriousness, take away the booger comment. 8th grade is so young, and you're talking with big boy baseball, and it's amazing. I think it shows everyone out there that like people are ID'd so early on, and it's just not baseball. I mean, it's middle school basketball. You just know if the kid's got a chance. So it's kind of wild. Did it seem to be happening fast for you when you were back at that age, going like, "Whoa, this is going quick"?
I don't really know, but I would say no, just because it's always been something that I want to do, and so everything that I've done prior to that was
You're tracking
with
for
the
this.
intent, to have these types of conversations. So I'd say no, but it was unique for sure.
Were you just playing baseball at that time, or were you doing other things?
I was playing. I think I was playing basketball, but then also hockey up until 7th grade.
Okay, and then it went straight baseball from that point on. All right, position-wise, you said you did catcher and shortstop. Were you playing both at the time, like through Little League all the way up?
Yeah, so I grew up playing the infield, mainly second base, because I played with an age group up, and so I was always a shorter kid and not really like strong yet, so I get plugged in at second base. But eventually, I want to say one tournament, one of our catchers got hurt, and my dad was one of the assistant coaches on that team. He was like, "Get on back there." And ever since then, it was infield and catcher.
Which do you like more?
I like hitting.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, right? So you would, okay. Guy wants to be a DH. He wants to be a DH. Say he wants to be a DH.
Yeah, but you're really good in the field at both of those positions. We were talking before, and that's a rare combination. There aren't many catcher, second basemen out there.
I like playing defense, and I like the utility side of that, but I don't really care where I play on the field. I just want to hit. So
I got a ton of questions.
Stunner.
So we were talking about this in our pregame meeting. How do you get you don't call the pitches. The pitching coach, Justin Oney, does. So how does the pitcher, the catcher, and everybody get the signal?
So everyone on the field has a pitch comm. It's like a little watch that you can wear on your wrist or your glove, and it'll say like for fastball like FB 1 and 1 is the pitch location, or like FB glove, and they're all different pitch locations after the pitch. And then catching lately, I've had an earpiece in where it's like a robot that says fastball 1 spot. So,
really?
An AI voice.
Yeah.
Where's the so what are the spots? Where's the 1 spot?
1 spot's up and into a batter, 2 spots low and into a batter, 3 spots low and away to a batter, 4 spots up and away. And then you got like 5 spot, which is extended in, 6 spot, which is extended down, 7 spot, extended up, and then glove is down the middle, low, mask is high, down the middle.
Wow, that's incredible. So you know and I'm assuming neither you nor the pitcher can shake off the call.
Correct.
Okay. Even if the call ever come in and you go, we won't tell Justin this, by the way. The call ever come in and you go, oh man, I don't think I'd throw that, or you just.
I mean, pitchers can shake whenever they want, and they have they have a little card in their hat that they can take their hat off, and then it'll be like let's just say it says fastball and then 13, so they'll go 1-3. They'll flash 1-3 to Oney, and then he'll plug in fastball onto the pitch comm.
So there is the pitcher does have some flexibility.
Yeah, but sometimes it gets overruled just based off like scouting reports. Like let's say a hitter's batting 120 whenever they get to 0-2 on sliders low and in. Mm-hmm. So it'll get like overruled for the slider low and in.
Got you. Okay, next question is, how important is pitch framing? Where you put the glove?
Yeah, it can either hurt you or help you. So
okay, here we go. That's going to get good now. Yeah. Now we're going to get into the umpires now. Okay.
Yeah,
because that's where I'm going with it, but go ahead.
It depends on the umpire. It changes with each umpire, so you can either hurt the situation and lose strikes for your pitcher if you're trying to make too big of a move, or the umpire doesn't like the way that you are receiving it, or you could help, so you could steal a couple strikes and almost fool the umpire into thinking that a ball is a strike.
So but you can't do it too quickly because that's noticeable. So what's the motion when it's close and you're framing it and just going to try to massage that thing a little bit?
Yeah, so you're going to obviously try to manipulate the pitch with your glove to try to make it seem like it's higher than it is with the way that you move it up. Mm-hmm. And the ones that are close, it's more so just like sticking it. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. So like making your move and then like barely moving it and just sticking it.
So framing is critical. That's one of the most important things you do.
Yeah.
It's a nuance.
Yeah, it's a nuance. And one more question on that. And
yes, sir.
Then related,
I'll render my following minutes to the gentleman from Iowa.
So related to that, you get a feel for the ump, and how much can you work the umpire?
Yeah, I mean that's huge. Getting a relationship built with an umpire throughout the game can be very beneficial. So you always want that guy on your side, whether it's whenever you're hitting or catching. So
what do you do to get him on your side?
I mean, I'm just trying to be as polite as I can be and protecting him from any foul balls or balls in the dirt so he doesn't get hit, doesn't get beat up, but just building a relationship with him. So
you're talking to him?
Yeah.
Like what's the conversation? Is it casual or is it about the game or what is it?
I mean, so before the game starts, like whenever we take the field and the pitcher's warming up, he'll usually come behind me to get a feel for his pitches. So I'll usually just tell him what pitches he has, what his best pitch is, if he's a strike thrower, if his stuff is really good, just all of that. So then he knows going into it what to expect, what to see. And then from there, it's like just being as respectful as you can. If I think he missed a call, just like almost like you can either like guilt trip him, if that makes sense, to where you can say like, it's all good. Like we all make mistakes.
Really?
We're all human.
Really?
And so sometimes that works. And then other times whenever umpires, and you'll get a feel throughout the game on what type of umpire you're dealing with.
Yeah.
All right, there's Gavin Kelly, 3 guys before the game. Again, about an hour and 20 minutes, the visit. And that podcast available now at WVMetroNews.com or on the Metro News television app or wherever you get your podcast. 5 till the top. We'll close out the show when we come back.
WVU Medicine is home to West Virginia's first and only multi-organ transplant center, making heart and kidney transplants at an academic medical center a reality for people across the state and region. Whether you've struggled with advanced heart failure or kidney disease, the WVU Medicine Transplant Alliance helps people like you find hope and healing on their journey to better health. Visit wvumedicine.org/transplant to learn more.
I'm Sergeant R.A. Marsh.
And this is Trooper Goodman with the West Virginia State Police.
When working traffic across West Virginia, responding to crashes involving death or injury is the toughest part of our job.
Around here, we're experts at survival, so we know the importance of buckling up.
When you don't buckle up,
you increase your risk of dying in a crash.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets, it's about saving lives.
Come on, West Virginia, we can do this. Please, always buckle up.
A message from the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's a great point.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, just about out of time for tonight's Major League Baseball scores. Pirates and Giants locked up in a good one. Bottom of the 12th. Giants just take the lead 7-6. In the bottom of the 12th. That should be it. Yeah, that was a walk-off winner for the Giants. So they get it done there to pick up the victory. The Pirates fall to 22-19 overall. Bottom of the second. Tigers lead the Royals 3-0. Finals from earlier. Nationals lose the Marlins 5-2. The O's beat the A's by a count of 2-1. And the Reds picked up a victory, much-needed victory over Houston at a final of 5-0. Brewers also got past the Yankees 4-3 earlier today. It's going to do it for us. We are out of time. NBA playoffs going on tonight. Also, of course, you've got some Sunday night baseball. But you've got the Spurs and Timberwolves underway. 4 minutes to play first quarter. 18-14 Spurs with the lead on the T-Wolves. Greg and I back with you again next Sunday night. Have a great week, everybody.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the MetroNews Radio Network. All rights reserved.